improvisational situation, sort of like we were earlier today, and we'll wind up collaborating with Boyd and Erica in Pakistan as they're working over there and when they come back. Can you talk a little bit more about the class? I don't even know what the class title is.
Yeah.
The class is ethno-theater, which is basically ethno-theater in and of itself is it's kind of a research theater method of like creating theater, and it's meant to create like a realistic depiction of people's work on stage. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it.
Good answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to get quizzed by Boyd and Erica.
What is ethno-theater?
Quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it is trying to use people's exact words and telling their story in a theatrical sense.
And were any of you involved in the kind of veterans version or veterans project that they launched? So there was a veterans project that was kind of veterans storytelling that I think used a lot of this methodology to try and distill the most effective way for people to tell their stories. And I think that was one of the connections that
Yeah, I think we're a part of. They're doing another. I don't know if it's like an additional.
Yeah, they're doing another one.
So yeah, it's another one that we're going to be doing when they get back from Pakistan. It's like sort of the class is broken into different parts, but as soon as they get back, I think that's what our next project is really focusing on.
We're doing the Pakistan, and we're working on the veterans project, and then we're doing our own project, whatever that is.
Figure it out.
Now, do any of you have pottery experience or exposure to the wonderful world of pottery?
Negative class in 8th grade.
Totally valid, and
Yeah.
I think you probably understand the joy to frustration ratio that I think is inherent.
Sorry, I gotta adjust my suspenders or let's fall down.
You're fine.
Nobody wants that.
I actually used to be an art major, and I tried sculpting.
Then you got smart.
Yeah, and I had one horrible experience with the pottery wheel. Like, this is not for me.
What's interesting with this Guitars for Veterans class that was just here, I think there are so many parallels between music and sort of submitting yourself to the process and sort of being humble enough to like pick up basics. And I think theater, I was kind of a theater geek in high school. I think we were talking also about like the adrenaline and risk like involved. And I think there's a very similar thing that happens when you have this like blob of clay in front of you that you're creating from. So I'm doing a bunch of talking here, but I'll let me give you. Ehren loves this. I keep accusing Ehren of being like, you know, the story of Tom Sawyer and the painting the fence and like getting people to paint the fence. Ehren loves to. He's an amazing potter. He makes cups. Ehren is a veteran of Operation Desert Storm, the first Gulf War, and found his way to pottery, and I'm going to let him kind of tell that part of the story. But Ehren is one of the smartest, most amazing artists that I know.
But the bar, I said.
But he loves to be real humble and say that he just makes cups, which is totally true on one level. I've been kind of telling people that, and you've all looked through Ehren's cups, I've been kind of telling people that Ehren is a minimalist. The cups are totally maximalist, and almost every inch of them is stamped with like decoration, and it's been interesting for me as a non-veteran to get to have lots of conversations with veterans because there are unlimited symbols and like layers of symbols relating to each branch of the service and things that are used by each branch of the service. And so I've had a lot of guides to this show. It's a show that I put up but I've had lots of other people sort of playing the docent and playing the guide for me. And I think Ehren has reached a stage where he's confident enough that he knows that his art speaks for itself, and he figures out ways to get other people to work for him. Setting up shows, distributing cups, thinking and talking about the work. And so Ehren likes to be humble and talk about how he just makes cups, but a cup is meant to be used, and a cup gets passed around and drank from, and it starts conversations. And I can't tell you how many conversations with people who've come into my office, and I drink all the time out of one of Ehren's cups, and that always leads to something. So ceramics is, I think, one of the original socially engaged art fields, because it's all centered in use. It's food, it's conversation, it's people's aesthetic appreciation of things, and Ehren's work just very perfectly plugs into all this stuff. Another thing that I'll say before I try to prod Ehren to talk is don't be afraid to ask questions about what he's doing, the technical stuff. We're not like, we can get all airy-fairy and talk art theory or something if we want, but don't be afraid to ask about, like, what's that big pile of clay, and how come you're throwing the little tiny cup off of the big chunk of clay, and stuff like that, or terminology or whatever. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ehren Toole.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cole.